A spreadsheet may not be complete until or unless you have included headers or footers within your workbook or within your worksheets. Headers and footers contain information such as file name, file location, date, time, page numbers. Page numbers are particularly helpful when you have spreadsheets because of the nature of the spreadsheets and how many pages they can actually consume when you send them to print. Here we're going to look at the different options you have for creating or adding headers and footers to your worksheets. On the Page Layout tab of the ribbon, in the Page Setup group of icons, if you click that little dialog box launcher, that little arrow at the bottom right, that will bring you into the Page Setup dialog. You've got 4 tabs here. We're going to look at the Header Footer tab. Here you have an upper section for the header, a lower section for the footer, and a few other options to select and choose from. You also will see that you have a little preview area at the top for the header, at the bottom for the footer, such that as you insert or add different bits of information to create your header or footer, you'll see them displayed here in the preview area. So let's take a look at that. Where it says header, and right now it's set to none, there's no header for this particular document, you click the drop down and you have a series of preset options, including the page number 1 of a total of 5, for example, the sheet, which would actually bring the actual sheet name in, such that if you gave the sheet a specific name, that sheet tab name would appear here and it would place itself in your header or footer if you so chose. You have a confidential stamp with the date and the page number. Additionally, you have the file name, you have the path and location of the file on your system, the sheet name, page number, and as you see the different options you have going down the list. You also have the option to include your username depending upon what username is set up on the computer you're working on. So you can choose from among these options. Okay, you have the same series of options where it says footer, and you can choose the footer. Now maybe you'd want a page number in the footer. All right, now you can choose from these selections, but you also have buttons to customize both the header and the footer, and we're going to take a look at that next. First, let me make a choice here. Say in the header, say I want to have, perhaps the sheet name. I click there. This shows me a preview of the top of my page, and I see the sheet name would appear there. If I wanted to put a footer in, say I wanted to choose the page number, click there, and it shows me my page number. This would appear across the top for the header and the bottom for the footer of each printed page. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change them both back to none because I want to show you the options behind the custom buttons. I'm going to set these both back to none. All right, let's go to custom header. Here it opens you up into a screen with 3 sections, so you can left align, center, or right align, whichever option you choose from this group of icons we have here. Now you can type in a header or text of your own choosing by just simply typing. The first icon will let you format the text, the size and the font style. The next one will give you a page number, followed by that the number of pages. You can insert the date, the time, and these are fields, so these fields do update. They will update to reflect the date or time printed. You can insert the file path, which is the location of the workbook where it is at the time you go to print it. You can insert the file name, the sheet name, or even a picture. You might want to put a picture or your organization's logo maybe at the top in the header within your worksheet. Okay, let's say here in the center I want to put the date, right? And you see it doesn't look like a date, but this is a field, and this is an updating field. Okay, maybe in the right section, I just click in that section there, and say I want to include the file name. Okay, and that puts a file name field in there. I say OK. Notice how Both the date reflects the current date, as this is the current date right now, today, and the file name at the upper right in the header. Now let's customize the footer. Okay, you have the same choices here, but notice the name of this dialog box is footer. So whatever you apply in the left, center, or right section will appear at the bottom of your printed sheets. Say we want to put the page number in the center section. So I'm going to click on page number. Sometimes, with spreadsheets particularly, it's more helpful to insert the number of pages. So you'll know if you print out 15 pages that you'll have sheet 1 of 15, sheet 2 of 15, sheet 3 of 15 to verify you have all the pages. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, what else might I want to include here? I'd say that's fine. That's all I want to include. I say OK. See, it then shows me the page number in my footer. Different odd and even pages will let you alternate the headers and the footers for every other page if you choose to. Different first page, say you do not want header or footer to appear on the first page. Different first page will allow you to do that. Now as far as the location of the header and footer, I believe it's 0.3 inches from the edge of the page, from the top edge or the bottom edge, but you have the ability to change that and adjust that with your margin settings. I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Now if I look at my print preview under my Office button, go down to print and then over and select print preview. Alright, I see I've got the date in the center, I've got the file name at the upper right. Let me scroll down here and I have the page number at the bottom. Interesting how that shows page 2. And this is page 1. Sometimes you want to go back and adjust and just be sure. Now I'm going to click on next page and I'm going to see my second page here. What I'm going to notice, of course, is that I'm probably going to have to adjust my page breaks because I have these extra columns on the second page. So I would need to do that as well. Let me go down to the bottom of this page. Interesting. Well, there might be a flaw in the program, and that's not uncommon. So I'm going to go ahead and close this screen. I'm going to go back to my page layout group of icons. I'm going to click that little arrow at the bottom right. I'm going to go into header and footer, and I'm going to go ahead and click on custom footer. I'm going to clear that out just by highlighting and deleting it, and I'm just going to simply put the page number in instead. I used the insert number of pages before. I'm going to choose insert page number. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to say OK. I'm also going to adjust my page orientation because I already know I get that second page. So let me fix that first, and then we'll take a look at the print preview, and we'll take a look at our header and footer that we chose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the orientation. Notice I have an orientation selection right under page layout. I can select landscape right from there. Okay, I can see the little dotted line that appears. It tells me that this is going to fall on one sheet. Look at my print preview and go to the Office button, print preview. Alright, I've got my date at the top center. I've got my file name at the top right. I see that I have one of one page total, the bottom of my screen, and here I have the number 1, page 1. Alright. So that's a very simple way of inserting simple footers and headers. You can get more sophisticated. You can include graphics. You can type in your own custom header and footer text. You can also insert images or graphics as you choose.